Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to Virtual Learning Platform. Today I'm going to discuss about Quarkus. Okay, so Quarkus here, what we are going to discuss, what is Quarkus and why use Quarkus. Okay, project structure and dependency injection. REST API is like one example. I am going to give one REST API example. Okay, how to run the Quarkus project and how to create Quarkus project in our IntelliJ. Okay, these things and all I'm going to discuss in this one. Quarkus is the most popular technology right now. Okay, it is mostly used for container based one and compared to Spring Boot. Now, most of the differences I will going to tell you like what are the differences between Spring Boot and Quarkus. Okay, which one is better and which one is compared to comparison between Spring Boot and Quarkus. Okay, just a basic information. Okay, so how do we start the Quarkus and all? I'm going to discuss now. Okay, so here Quarkus, right? I'm going to discuss Quarkus. 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 Okay, now Quarkus. Quarkus is a Java framework for building. Quarkus is a Java framework work for building REST APIs. Okay, na for building what are the things we can build REST APIs and microservices and cloud native applications and Kubernetes. Okay, container based Kubernetes. Okay, and serverless applications. Okay, it is a built on top of Hibernate ORM. Okay, it is a built on top of Hibernate ORM, Hibernate ORM and REST easy. Okay, REST easy and a CDI. This is the most important thing here. Okay, Jakarta context and dependency injection. Okay, Jakarta context and dependency injection. Okay, CDI Jakarta context. Okay, JAX RS. Previously, we are calling as a JAX RS. JAX RS. Jakarta context and dependency injection. CDI means context and dependency injection. Okay, and connection pool. Ago, Agrol. Sorry, Agrol. Agrol. It is a connection pool mechanism. It can maintain the connection pool. Okay, database connection pool and all. It can able to maintain vertex. Okay, it is a built on top of Hibernate ORM, REST Easy, and CDA, Agorol, and Vertex. These things and all we can able to build it. Think of it as a lightweight alternative to. Okay, it is a lightweight alternative to Spring Boot that starts faster and uses less memory. Okay, na? And why Quarkus? Why Quarkus? Why Quarkus? Suppose you have a banking application. Okay, suppose you have a banking application. So uh, browser and uh, in browser, right? In browser we are hitting the REST API. Okay, in browser we are going to hit the REST API. Okay, and business BUSI and ESS business logic. Okay, na? and database and database. Okay, here browser, like in browser, we are hitting the URL that REST endpoint. Then it will reach to REST API and it call the business logic and it will check the database and get the data from the database. Okay, Spring Boot and Quarkus both perform the same task. Even like if you are developing the same functionality in Spring Boot, you are also following the same. Like whenever we are hitting the REST endpoint and browser, then it will call the REST API and REST API like there we have a REST controller, right? That REST controller call the service to call the database layer and it will get the data. The same way like Quarkus is also the same structure. Okay, browser to REST API to business logic and database. Okay, the main differences. What are the differences between Spring Boot and uh, Quarkus? Okay, higher memory uses. Okay, a Spring Boot using the higher memory uses. Okay, now Quarkus uses less memory, less memory. Okay, now and Spring Boot slower startup, slower startup compared to Quarkus application. Okay, compared to Quarkus application. Quarkus very fast startup, startup, very fast startup. Okay, now good for long running. Spring Boot good for long running apps. Good for long running apps. Quarkus good for cloud and containers. Good for cloud and containers. Okay, and what is the Quarkus architecture? Okay, now Quarkus architecture. Quarkus architecture, like how it is working and all. Just it is simple one, like earlier I have discussed, right? The same one, HTTP request. Okay, when you hit the HTTP request, then what happened? Then it will it will call the controller resource controller. Okay, now controller can call service. Controller can call service layer. Okay, once the request reach to service, then it will call the repository. Okay, now repository. Next, Hibernate repository internally follow the like here instead of Hibernate and instead of JPA, like here we are using separate repository class name Panache. Okay, so I will discuss later that one. Just you have to remember inside repository, right? Here Hibernate ORM, and here data source. We will define the data source. Okay, and ultimately it call the Oracle database, Oracle or whatever the database you are targeting. Okay, this is very similar to Spring Boot. Okay, even Spring Boot is also same. Spring Boot is also same architecture. Okay, project architecture, project structure and all I will show you later while giving the example and all. Okay, here resource controller, right? So in resource controller, here mostly like we are using the in Spring Boot. For example, if you are taking the Spring Boot, like there we are using the one annotation called REST controller, right? REST controller. Okay, but here instead of REST controller, here we can use the at path. Okay, at path. Then only in Quarkus, when we define that path, then it will identify the HTTP request for that endpoint. Okay, Spring Boot uses the REST controller annotation. Quarkus uses the at path and JAX RS annotations. JAX RS annotations means get, post, these things and all. Okay, these things and all. And here the most important thing is dependency injection. Dependency injection. dependency injection. Okay, so instead of Spring auto-wired in Spring Boot in Spring Boot, right? We are using the dependency injection for auto-wired annotation. But here we are using the at inject annotation. Okay, na? At inject annotation. When you use the at inject annotation, then it will work as is at auto-wired. It will inject the one class into another class. Okay, one class into another class. How inject works, like this, how it is working inject. That is important. Okay, so whenever application starts, okay, Quarkus scans all classes. Same way, like Quarkus scans all classes. Okay, na? And Quarkus scans all classes and finds at application scoped bins at application scoped, okay, bins. It will search for the at application scoped annotation, wherever we are using this annotation, right? uh, it will scan for those classes. It will scan for those classes. Okay, stores it, creates one object. Okay, creates one object, creates one object. Okay, it can create one object and stores it in the CDI container, container, CDI container, and resource resource request greeting services, requests. Okay, resource request. After that, what happened? CDI injects the existing object. CDI injects the existing object. Okay, just you remember this one, just you remember this flow. Okay, whenever I am going to discuss the example, right, that time I will show you like how it is working and all. Okay, you don't create the object yourself within you. Okay, you don't create object yourself by using new keyword and new operator. Everything it will manage this one, application scoped annotation. Okay, application scoped annotation. Okay, now so now I'm going to give one simple example. Okay, now I'm going to give one simple example. After that, I will discuss more on annotations like at path annotation, at inject annotation, and application scoped annotation and all. Okay, so in IntelliJ, right? For example, in IntelliJ, see here, I have created one project, but anyhow, like I'm going to create a new project, right? So see here in project, like here I don't have because it is not an licensed version of it is there, right? So that's the reason like it is not available here. If you are a licensed version, then it can available. Okay, then it can available. Okay, so see here, Quarkus. Okay, so Quarkus, when we use this, when we download this one, then here it is available. Okay, when we enable this one, then available here. Okay, then we can easily create a project like Quarkus project, like as a Spring Boot project, right? The same way we can use Quarkus project. So instead of that, so the alternative way, see here, this is the one. Okay. Uh, this is the endpoint. Okay, so once you click on this code.quarkus.io one, and it will get like this. Okay, let's start coding. See here, Quarkus 3.37. This is the platform. Okay, this is the latest version 3.37. Okay, 3.33, 3.27. I am using the 3.37 Quarkus. Okay, so here configure your application, right? Group org dot this one, right? Here version learning platform.com. Who knows Spring Boot, right? They only easily understand this one. Okay, if you don't know the Spring Boot and Spring, then I think it is difficult. It is a new one. Okay, so that's the reason like I'm not going to tell each and everything. Okay, group and artifact and all. Okay, already you know like while creating the Spring Boot project, we have to provide the group name as well as artifact name and a build tool. Okay, code with Quarkus. Here, code with machine learning platform. Okay, so here build tool Marvin Gradle and Gradle with the Kotlin DSL. So I'm selecting Marvin project. Okay, this is the version and Java version also we can able to select like Java 25, but I'm selecting Java 17. Okay, starter code, yes or no, yes. Okay, then here right here number of projects are available. Whatever the category you want, then you can create this one. Okay, so now I'm going to give simple example of REST service, right? So that is the reason like I'm going to select a REST service. Okay, so here also we can just whatever the type, like if it is a web application, then we can select a web application. Okay, it is a messaging platform, then we can select a messaging platform, artificial intelligence, everything here available. So, but I don't want to select anything, just it is a simple one, right? So that is the reason like I'm selecting a REST. Okay, it is a platform independent or this is the platform related information. Okay, and the status. Okay, and with the starter code. Okay, na? With starter code, just like it is a simple one, like next ongoing like if going forward I'm going to discuss more and more about these things and all. Okay, so just I'm going to select this one, rest Quarkus rest. Okay, and click on generate your application. Okay, so here push to GitHub as well as download the zip file. Okay, this is the MD file. Okay, readme.md file. Once you download the zip, then it will generate all those things. Download the zip. Okay, so here, okay, now see here. Okay, in download section, this is the one. Okay, Quarkus rest, and I'm going to extract this one. I'm going to extract this one. Okay, now I'm going to extract this one. Now I'm going to take import this one, open Quarkus project, code with version learning platform. This is the one only I will generate it, right? New window. Okay, trust project. Okay, this one. Yes. Okay. Okay. So here, see, this is the project structure. It looks like as a Spring Boot application. Okay, this is the one. See, it is a container based application, right? So that's the reason it is automatically generated Docker folder, and here it is a Java. Okay, it is a Java folder, like whatever the implementation, we can create the packages here, and resources folder, application net properties file it is has generated, like whatever the related database information or whatever the data source related information, we can use it here. Okay, and this is the test classes it is generated. Okay, simple one. Okay, now here see pom.xml file, right? In pom.xml file, this is the properties file, and mainly here we can going to discuss. Okay, mm, see here Quarkus REST. Okay, Quarkus REST. This is the one dependency and Quarkus Arc. Okay, here only that application scope annotation and path annotation and inject annotations, everything available here. This is the core. Okay, and this is the JUnit related information. Like here we have unit test cases, right? So that is the reason. Okay, these are the dependencies came from Quarkus project. Okay, now here, now here, greeting source dot Java file allow from Quarkus REST. Okay, so now I'm going to create one more class. I'm going to create I'm going to create one more class. Why it is not? Okay. First, we can build this one. Hmm. Okay, I set up Java 17, and first we can build this one. Why it is not? Okay, here I'm using the one clean install. Clean install. First, I'm going to build the project. Build failure. It is build failure. Correct directory. Okay, again I'm going to download this one. Machine learning videos, not videos. Quarkus project. Code with the version learning platform. Code with the version learning platform. This window, new window. Right. Ah, now came. Okay. Now came. See here. This is the Maven, and here Maven clean install. Install. Okay. Earlier I said it can generate a readme.md file, right? See, this is the one readme.md file. Now it is building the application. It's look like same as a Spring Boot application only. Okay. Mm, okay. Greeting source. Once the build is successful, then I will create one class. Build success. So now I'm going to create. Okay. Now I'm going to create. Uh, now I'm going to create one class that is a greeting service class. Just a simple one. I'm going to create one greeting service class. Cannot create class, unable to parse template class. Quarkus okay, already exists. Greeting resource, greeting service class. I'm going to create one service class. So the first one, like this one, how it is identified? It is a Quarkus project or it is a bean. It is a bean. Then we have to annotated application scoped. Okay, when the class is annotated with this application scoped, then it can identify. It can able to create the object for this one instead of creating the new greeting service. Okay, so here greeting string name, welcome name to Quarkus REST. This is the one. Okay, see here greeting method are just a simple method greeting method I have created, and go to this greeting resource. So here I have to use that one like whatever the greeting service, right? That a greeting service I'm going to inject here. Inject. Okay, I'm going to inject here. Okay, greeting service, and now already this one I'm going to delete. sorry, this one I'm going to delete. And first of all, get method. Okay, so greetings user. Okay, greetings user, and media type is, and path name. Okay, path name, and a media type, produces media type. Not required. This one not required. And path name and public string, public string. Just I'm going to print a simple message. Okay, return greeting service dot greeting name. Okay, this is the one. Now I'm going to run this one. Okay, now I'm going to run this project. How can I run this project? Just to go to terminal. See here, Maven command is also can work. Maven command is also can work. Okay, see here, readme.md file they have already given. This is the one. Okay, this is the one. This one is also working. This one is also working. Or else like Maven Quarkus dev. Okay, when we use the dev, then it will target to dev profile. But we are not maintaining the profile mechanism. But even though like it is taking as it's a dev profile. Okay, the program is up and running. The program is up and running. Now I'm copy this URL. Okay, see here. Welcome to, congratulations. You just made a Quarkus application. Okay, this is the one. But our endpoint is different, right? Our endpoint greet, greet. This is our endpoint. 404 resource not found because our endpoint is different. So go to here. Here, what is our endpoint? Hello, 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 Sri. That's it. Welcome, Sri, to Quarkus REST. Okay. So now here, for example, if I'm use greet, okay, if I'm use greet, and here also I'm using greet. Now we'll see. See here, I did not restart the app. I did not restart the app. Just I changed the endpoint, but I did not restart the app even though it is working the endpoint. Earlier, like I used the hello. After that, without restarting the app, I just used the greet, and even greet is also working without restarting the app. Okay, this is the Quarkus, and mostly like I'm going to discuss about this one, right? See, whenever we are calling this endpoint, see here I'm going to debugging this one. Whenever we are calling this endpoint, okay, one in. Okay, so whenever we are calling this endpoint, then it is checking for this one. Okay, this is the parameter, path parameter. Okay, so path param is fine. Then it call the greeting method. Then the greeting method will call the service greeting method. So here it is rotated as application scope. So for this one, it will create one object. Okay, by using new keyword or new operator, right? Like the way, like it will create one object for this one. That object should be available entire life cycle of application. Okay, entire life cycle of application, and it will execute this one. Okay, this is the flow. This is the flow we have. Application scoped is a CDI. CDI means context and dependency injection. Okay, context and dependency injection annotation in Quarkus. It also Quarkus create only one instance. Application scoped create only one instance of this class for the entire lifetime of the application. Reuse it everywhere. That is the reason like at a application scoped annotation we can use. When Quarkus starts, it scans when Quarkus whenever the application starts the start that time it scans your project for classes annotated with the at application scoped. It creates one object of greeting service and it stores that object in the CDI container context dependency. What I'm telling, context and dependency injection, there it will store that object and it will manage that CDI container only can manage that object whenever another class uses at inject annotation, right? See here, I used at inject annotation. So this at inject annotation, Quarkus inject the same object like here greeting service, right? Greeting service can inject inside this one, this class. Okay. These are the things. Okay, at application scoped, you have to remember here most of the annotations like at application scoped, at inject annotation, and at path annotation, at a path annotation. This is the at path annotation. Like in Spring Boot, we are using the at rest controller, right? But here we can use the at path annotation, and it is inject annotation. In Spring Boot, we are using the uh, at auto void annotation. Okay, there in Spring Boot we are using the get mapping, right? But here JAX RS annotations fine. Okay, thank you so much. Like later, I will explain how do we connect the database. Okay, Panache, how do we maintain the connection pool mechanism? These things and all I am going to discuss. Okay, this is a basic thing. I'm going to give you a brief knowledge about Quarkus. Okay, it is a basic thing. Just you have to remember at application scope and at inject and at path. Okay, this annotation. If you know the Spring Boot very well, then we can easily learn Quarkus. Okay, thank you.